Most people hate the tariffs. They think it's a terrible idea, but there are some people who like them. I'm talking about incels.
What?
Yes, Mrs. Pearlmania.
Wait, they're willing to pay tariffs?
Well, they're willing to pay $8 for a free website. They're also willing to pay tariffs. You know why?
No, why?
Because they hate women that much.
Holy shit. Wait, what?
Listen, I'm going to explain more as we get deeper into all of the things we've looked up this week. You know why?
Why?
Because this is...
Too many times. Remember to smile.
Well, what a week it's been for anyone who has ever seen a graph, right? It's been for graphs.
Those that know how to read, real bummer.
That's been like every day. Yeah. That's been every day of 2025. Yeah. For those who know how to read, real bummer.
Yeah.
I'm here with the estimable, the wonderful, the amazing. You're not going to give me your hand?
No, I didn't do my nails.
This is Mrs. Pearlmania over here. She didn't do her nails, and so I can't do the gimmick where I grab her hand, drag it in, and kiss it.
I've been doing a lot of gardening. I didn't want to do my nails.
You've been doing a lot of gardening, but that way you can show you the grit in your hand.
Yeah.
And why have you been gardening? Because the tariffs.
No, that's not why.
But it's also in general. It's because you want to be more sustainable.
Yep.
Self-sustainable. Mm-hmm. You've been doing what back in World War II they called a victory garden.
Victory garden, yeah.
But now it's just called how we can feed ourselves.
I need onions.
Potentially.
I need potatoes.
Yeah, potentially. I know a lot of food's grown here in America, but there's a lot of issues that I pointed out.
Oh,
on the
you pointed
internet,
out,
and a lot of other economists.
Oh, okay.
A lot of
Are you an economist?
I can be. A lot of people have pointed out, though, with the tariffs that are on again, off again, on again, never went away, and have always been here again from Donald Trump.
Yeah, when we wrote out what we were going to talk about on this episode, we were like, these tariffs. And then after we closed the laptop, he was like, just kidding.
On some of them.
Except for China.
No, he said just kidding on some of them. There's still, here's the part that's confusing, and it might be confusing as we record this, because we're recording this on Thursday.
Yeah.
April 10th. And the one thing we know about this president versus any other president, and it's something
He's a convicted criminal.
Okay, beyond that.
There's no other president that was a convicted criminal, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's...
He's a WWE Hall of Famer.
No other president was
has ever been a WWE Hall of Famer before.
Yeah.
He...
Loves golf?
That's a lot of presidents.
Oh, okay.
A lot of presidents love golf.
Got that in common.
Yeah. But with this one is he just changed his mind a lot. And he just has wild swings in mood swings.
Yeah.
Like a golf swing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who loves that?
Who?
Business.
People in business do love that.
People who have to plan entire shipping lanes.
Yeah.
Logistics. People who have to decide an entire quarter or annual budget love
Q1,
to
Q2.
just have those things just go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Doesn't panic anything at all.
And, Donald Trump decided that the tariffs were a good idea. He rolled out last week.
Sure.
With the craziest chart we've ever seen in our entire life.
Yeah.
It was pretty clear to everybody that they took this chart, they took this borderline ideas, and they just threw it into ChatGPT.
Yeah, big into ChatGPT.
I don't think that's really enough of a big deal has been made without that.
Yeah.
The fact that the biggest deal between Trump term 1 and Trump term 2, AI has been number 1, and number 2 is that there aren't the people who are stealing paper anymore.
Yeah.
So there was a thing in Trump's first term is he would come up with crazy ideas like this, and he'd write it down on a piece of paper, or somebody would write a memo. I'd be like, well, this is how we do it. And someone else would walk in the room, see it, and they would just snatch it off the dates and then eat it.
Yeah.
Like, people legit would grab papers and eat them or run away real fast.
Yeah.
And now instead, he's just like, no, I got rid of everybody who doesn't like me. And I have this guy over here. He's 27. Elon found him. He goes by Donkey Dick. Donkey Dick, I want to put a tariff on everybody who does business better than me. And he goes, okay. And he just pulls out his phone and he goes, hey, Grok, tariff the world. And then he goes, okay, here is a formula. And he goes, I guess that looks good. It's all Greek to me because it's Greek letters and that's funny. Put a tariff on Greece. And then we do. And it was lunatic numbers to the point where every step of the way, they would hold up and be like, no, look, we thought this through. Here's the formula. And someone's like, half of these cancel each other out.
Yeah.
You're clearly just doing trade deficits. With some countries, it's negative.
Yeah.
We have trade surpluses with. and you somehow are doing a negative reverse double backsy on them like Australia. And honestly, watching line go down, there's something in it. There's a catharsis there. You're like, yeah, fuck you guys.
We don't have stock.
And you're just watching the line go down. Good. Down, 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 down. It feels good. Line go down. We never, listen, when line goes down, everybody knows line goes down.
Yeah.
Line goes up, nobody talks about line
Only some
go.
people.
Only some.
Benefit.
Only some get happy with line go up. But line go down, everybody's at least paying attention. At the minimum, you're watching. Isn't that true?
How many times do you think you're going to come into Donald Trump voice?
Let me tell you how many times I'm going to come into Donald Trump voice in Minecraft. The big thing, though, is so this one I was watching the line go down.
Yeah.
And then I people were taking bets on how long will line go down. And then, again, like you said, he was like, I'm not doing it. We changed our mind. And line went right up. Went up so sharp. And then here we are today.
I think it's funny because it reminds me of, and I've said this
Cokeheads?
Yeah, no, well, yes. I've said this before. Trump gives me the energy of somebody who's like, no, I promise I'll go to rehab on Monday. Mm-hmm. Like, he's just like, he's always like, no, like, I mean it, I'm serious. It's just like, I just need to finish this drink. And I have a event this weekend, but I promise on Monday I'm going to go to rehab. Or with the tariffs.
And I said, no.
But it also, the tariffs feel like, you know, like when you get a gym membership and then if you don't go on Monday, you're like, well, I can't start on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you have to wait till the next Monday to start going to the gym. And then inevitably it's been 30 days and you've never made it to the gym on this membership you pay for every month.
Inevitably your wife is like, why are we still members of the Y? We haven't been in that building in 6 months. The big thing with them is, and that was very funny with all of this stuff, is been watching the conservative influencers.
Oh my God.
Desperate.
So funny.
Desperate. Oh, they can tell. Because listen, they're so used to pivoting to a culture war item when their guy does something dumb.
Yeah.
And they really hope a lot of times, they really hope a lot of times that when things are going bad, that the average person doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
But like the average person might have, like, because I think it's something like 56% of Americans own stock, like or 60, like 60% of Americans. So at the minimum, they have Robinhood on their phone, or they have E-Trade or one of these, or they have a 401k, or they have something.
Yeah.
But also, like, anyone who's ever had a real job has worked in a place, or as like, or especially if they had a computer job. The computer just constantly tells you what the number is.
Yeah, it says it on the bottom of my screen right now.
And that's not even a setting.
It just changed from that to saying it's 51 and cloudy out.
Yeah, because listen.
It's 51 and cloudy, but the Dow is dropping negative 4.53%.
Every device that we own is designed to make us miserable.
Yeah.
Every addition that they've added to every level of user interface has been, just so you know, it's shitty outside. Everyone's losing their jobs. Also, this AI assistant's going to tell you to put glue in your pizza. Because that's just where we are. But when the thing with
next vibing with the food idiot.
Next vibing with the food
glue
idiot.
Pizza.
But like the big thing with the conservative influencers, and the one thing I love is that these guys like Charlie Kirk, like Ben Shapiro, Benny Johnson. I could go down the list even more. Tim Pool.
That's the knit cap guy. He just met with what's his name?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he had a secret meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu and a bunch of other podcasters.
That's wild.
To combat anti-Semitism. That's what they said it was for. Who's they?
No.
But the big thing with these conservative influencers in general, most of them have never had real jobs.
No.
That's the thing that's so crazy. And these are the people, like, I'll give Joe Rogan this.
Yeah, he was once a terrible stand-up comedian.
No, not even that.
He was an actor on news radio.
Joe Rogan has at least worked in construction, or has known guys who worked in construction. Like, Joe Rogan had to come up.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, like him, and some of these others, especially in the comics, like in the stand-up comedy world, a lot of them had to at least have a real job for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So they had to like work in a restaurant, maybe be a bartender, maybe work retail, maybe go get a construction job, maybe go do some of these other things, right? But like a fucking Ben Shapiro, you know what his job was? Failed screenwriter.
I was about to say failing at a theater.
Dave Portnoy, I don't know what the fuck his job was before this, but like when you get into the streamers like Asmongold, Aiden Ross, and some of these other ones who are all these conservative aligned streamers, guess what? They've never had a real job.
Yeah, I think Aiden Ross started like when he was in his teens. And
yeah,
then
100%.
He, to this day has never done anything
and then
else
he
but
went
sit in front
when
of a
the
camera.
stock market was shooting down, he was sitting there screaming. He was like,
funny.
I lost $10 million. What's happening with the economy? You, Aiden, you're what happened to the economy.
Yeah.
You stood next to the Cybertruck doing the double doink dance with him. You were out there. XQC was out there with them. And wearing a Trump shirt, being like, I didn't have anything to do with this. My name's XQC. I don't know what XQC's accent is. He's fucking Quebecois. He's French Canadian.
Well, why is he fucking around with Trump? Is he French Canadian?
Because I was just there to help my friend Aiden, he says.
Oh, God.
No, you weren't.
Jeez Louise.
You were all getting a kickback somewhere. We all know. I'm sure there's a Dogecoin or a shit coin.
Oh, they love teaching the kids online gambling and getting them into coins.
Get them into the coins.
The cryptos.
You know what? I think that's. I've been reading Pinocchio, a translation of the original Pinocchio.
Okay.
And like that's one of the things is that's how they just keep getting the little boys, like how they capture them. There's one part is they just keep getting them coins.
You know what?
We just added bit to the front.
Yeah.
Ooh, come here, child. Would you like a Bitcoin? Would you like a Bitcoin?
At least when I was little, you had to give us chocolate.
That's true.
Like the movie Witches.
Or hold up a puppy.
Yeah.
Now
that we're 40-something years old, we see a puppy and we're like, that's a lot of responsibility.
That's a lot of responsibility.
That seems like a lot of responsibility.
But now, instead, they're like,
as a child, you're just like, yeah, that's cute.
I would have controlled that child over there. Swipe.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
DraftKings.
Do not clip that out of context. All right? Do you hear me, Mr. Producer? If you keep getting hurt and telling yourself that everything will heal on its own, you should probably see a doctor. Luckily, we're sponsored by Zocdoc, the best place to find exactly the doctor you're looking for. Zocdoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality, in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. With Zocdoc, you can even filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located near you, and by ratings. Once you find the right doctor, just click to book. It's that easy. I've used Zocdoc in the past to help me find a doctor when I needed them really quick, and they really made sure that I found the right doctor for me who took my insurance and was, back then, walking distance from my house. It was an amazing service. Appointments can be made through Zocdoc, also happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/tabs to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/tabs. ZocDoc.com/tabs. Some Trump fans are really pro-destruction.
Oh, yeah.
They really, 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 really want to see a lot of people hurt.
Yeah.
And it's not just immigrants. It's really comes down to women. They really want to hurt women, and they really believe that if manufacturing jobs are the primary job here in America, that somehow these lonely incels will finally be able to get a girlfriend and a wife.
Yeah.
They believe that the reason why one income could sustain the household in the 40s and 50s is because they were manufacturing jobs, not because we didn't have as high of wealth disparity and centralized ownership as we do now.
And unions.
And all these other different things. And the fact that the rest of the world had been destroyed by a world war and they were rebuilding that. And it took them 2 decades to rebuild their own manufacturing bases in their countries.
Yes.
They don't take any of that into account. And actually the thing that really drove this home for me is this video. Do you know Gen Z Boss in a Mini?
Gen Z Boss in a Mini.
Okay. I'm going to play a video for you.
Okay.
So this is a video that actually went viral last year. Okay.
Okay.
In July of 2024. All right. So let me play that video for you.
Okay.
Gen Z Boss in a Mini. Gen Z Boss in a Mini. Itty bitty titties in a bulb. Itty bitty titties in a bulb. 5'3" in an attitude. 5'3" in an attitude. Secret product in a trench. Secret New friend green and a sneaky link. New friend green and a sneaky link. Fake 10 hands in a hoop. Fake 10 hands in a hoop.
That video drove people insane.
What do you mean? It's cute.
I know. Most people
When you
saw
say
this.
people, are you saying incel guys?
Yes.
Okay.
It drove a specific group of incel guys on Twitter, but it then spread. This video was used and spread like a virus, a mind virus, if you will.
Okay.
Across the internet, especially among younger men. And like, there's a thing that's happened in our country that we keep like not understanding, which is that guys under 30 now, the likelihood of a guy under 30 to just like hate women with a passion. Like there's guys under 30 who I've talked to or seen online who sound like they're 55-year-old divorcees. Like there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
They don't have the interactions. They don't have the life experience to have this level of hate, but it's been grown. And what a lot of them took from this video was, look at these women who are happy,
Having a good time.
Being in
silly
a
billies.
nice office.
Yeah.
Look what they have that you don't.
Okay.
And so they believe that the tariffs will stop having women be able to have nice jobs and have nice clothes and have nice lives, and that these women will get pulled down to such a level that these shitty guys will then become fuckable again, because these women will need to get with them to be able to survive. They have subsistence level dick.
Yeah.
They don't have luxury dick.
No.
They have subsistence level dick that can barely feed a family of two. But there's so many. And what was crazy, so when this video was first posted,
I saw this video go and then a bunch of people did it.
It was, so one of the things that really struck me is when I was going through it is it went viral again. And the thing is, like, and this was just from a couple days ago. This was from April 5th. The guy who reposted this got 13,000 likes on Twitter. It said, tariffs or this? Tariffs.
Really?
Yes. And like, there is so many of these as I started scrolling through, where it's just like all these different guys being like, I know you're looking at the tariffs, you're seeing all this chaos, but this is what we're trying to stop. And they keep pointing to these ladies. And like, the thing is back in July, when I saw it over the next couple of months, running all the way up to election day, I would see this video and they kept changing the context of it. It would be like HR before they're about to lay everyone off.
Yeah.
The big thing that this became is that these are all HR women. And they're not. This is the owner of a company, of a skincare company that is making content for women.
Yeah.
They are also fucking Australia.
Yeah.
They are Australian women. The tariffs. What are you talking about?
They're not going to get you Australian women.
We sell more to Australia.
Yeah.
Also, I want to let you know something, fellas. Australian women are sexually some of the most aggressive whites on the planet. These are sexually aggressive white women.
You're not ready.
You're not
You
ready
can
for an
handle it.
Australian woman.
You can't handle that.
The land that they live in, number one, they are much more aware of how stolen their land is.
Yeah.
Okay? They are much more aware. It is much more recent. And number two, that land is trying to kill them every fucking day.
Spiders.
And you
snakes,
want to walk up there?
Jellyfish.
You want to walk around there with your fucking baby carrot dick? Being like, no, look, we can live off my little baby carrot dick. No, you can't. Skylar, Lachlan, Saxon.
Oh,
you bags of shit. This is the other thing, too, as I was scrolling through it. And like, again, this guy who posted tariffs, I then saw other people like quote tweeting it. And this one person said, can I be honest for a second? I have never understood this video. I have seen it posted like 100 times. I have never had any idea what people are mad about. I assume they're doing some kind of TikTok dance, but I've never recognized the trend from anything else. And the thing is this was a micro trend on TikTok of people. And I think it was actually Amy Poehler and Tina Fey did like a little thing.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember seeing little silly videos.
Philly shirt and a mouse. Philly shirt and a mouse. Like, it was just like doing a little beat like that.
Yeah.
Right? And the fucking responses to that person who was literally asking us, like, what is this trend?
Yeah.
not like anything else about it, are crazy. Listen to this response.
Okay.
Instead of hiring these women as secretaries, the men in charge of these companies now hire them as HR directors, product managers, etc., which puts them in positions of authority over matured, tenured, experienced employees. Imagine if they were your bosses.
Okay. That guy got fired for doing something fucked up at the office. HR yelled at him.
Yeah. Number one, it's cringe, normie, not funny, which is a big thing we've talked about in the past.
Normie, not funny.
Which is, there's a thing with seeing people have joy on the internet drives certain people insane, and it's become an underlying thing of calling people with joy cringe. You point at that and yell cringe, so that way you feel better about the fact that you are sitting in a room.
And that's why Gen Z can't have any fun, because they're so afraid of being recorded and being told they're cringe.
They're being perceived.
They can't go to the roller skating rink. They can't do anything fun and silly because they're so afraid of being cringe.
And again, that's a generalization.
Yeah,
we will say
of
it's a
course,
generalization. But there's more of that about being perceived. And that's going to be the thing we're going to spend our son's entire childhood fighting.
I'm going to be like, listen, cringe isn't real.
Cringe isn't real. No, fuck these people.
Let's just fucking live, dude.
Let me tell you something. The amount of people that have said that your dad is a libtard is the reason why you can eat strawberries.
Yeah.
Call me a libtard all you want. Get in the fucking comment. You have any idea how many fucking Nazis I delete from the YouTube of these fucking TMT videos? Do you have any idea? Guess what? Each one of those motherfuckers.
Blueberries.
That adds up. That's blueberries. That's grapes. Grapes have never been more popular. Okay? Cringe is fine. Oh, I looked at that and I cringed. That's your problem.
Yeah,
you had a visceral reaction.
You're cringing. I'm having a blast.
Oh, okay. I'm over there. Oh, I could never. I know. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, you could never.
You could never.
Bitch.
I'm going to put on my pink pussy hat and I'm going to walk down the street.
No, I don't think that's...
I'm going to do it,
no,
okay?
Let's not do that.
I'm going to be performative as a motherfucker.
I'm a white woman.
Excuse me while I say good job talking for 25 hours, Booker.
Oh, no.
So number one, it's cringe. It's normie, not funny. Number two, reflects that jobs really are a joke and basically daycare, but women still want tough guy points for working them. Number three, this confident simplicity highlights their emotional juvenilism, problematic when they have power in the workplace.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
These are just people that have been brought into HR because they said something fucked up.
Again, this video.
If they have a job.
This video of Australian women.
Just dancing.
Dancing, having a little, one of which is the owner of the company.
Spray tan hands and earring was very funny.
Yeah.
I don't think they understand what spray tan hands are.
Itty bitty titties in a bob is my favorite. It's so funny. It's just like, it's so funny. Quote, "This was the last gasp of a trend where women were posting their incredibly easy and low effort work days. Maybe not even true and just posting it for clout, but they would show a day that was something like 90% lounging and socializing and 5% emails."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're jealous.
Yeah. It's 100% jealousy.
It's just jealousy.
It's just
they're mad that
jealousy.
Number one, women have fun with each other. They're mad two that women have friendships with each other because these people clearly don't have friends.
But they're also mad that they don't have an easy job. And it's like, okay, so your response is making people work in a sock factory?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want. Like, that's the part that's fucking crazy to me.
They want to go back to the coal mines.
They do. They yearn for the mines.
Yeah. And it's like, if you had any ounce of literacy and cultural understanding of what it was like in Virginia when the coal mines were being worked, like they were back in the era they're longing for, and like the wives were at home with the kids, like, bro, y'all died down there
a lot,
collapsing, and then if you tried to fight back, y'all got murdered by the Pinkertons and cops.
Well, what was funny is again, as we've been talking about
That's
tariffs,
what you want?
One of the things that happened was Trump brought a bunch of coal miners to stand behind him and be like, we're bringing back coal. We're going to do a lot of coal for AI. Coal is clean again.
Clean coal.
Clean coal. And it was like standing there. And I'm like, again, looking at all those people, it's like more people are hired by Broadway. Yeah. There are more people working on Broadway in New York when you look at the entire ecosystem of ticket takers and ushers and lighting techs and the orchestra pits. I'm not even talking about the actors. Yeah. I'm not even fucking talking about the people you see on stage.
The people that get everything else going.
The rest of the infrastructure of Broadway hires more people than the entire coal industry. Yep. Meanwhile, the West Virginia senator is literally a coal baron.
But too much. It sounds also that like these young men, I don't know, that they're hyper jealous. They have nothing to offer. They know they have nothing to offer, and instead of trying to change anything about themselves,
instead of trying to better themselves, they're trying to make everything else worse.
In any other way, they're trying to destroy everything around them so that everything sucks for everybody like it sucks for them.
Yeah.
So that then maybe they won't be lonely. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're still going to be fucking lonely.
Yeah, because you suck.
Yeah.
You suck as a person.
You're gonna suck on the top of a pile of rubble, just like you suck now.
But real quick.
Yeah.
Not our listeners, though.
Nope.
Our listeners are incredible. I just want to say, we did. I mean, this real fast
No,
because we're getting real negative about some people.
We're about incels.
About incels.
Do you have to be positive about them?
No, you don't have to be positive about
Thank
them.
you.
But what I just want to say is we did an episode of the warm-up and this week, and we've moved our Patreon shout-outs to the warm-up.
Yeah. Because
it's for the Patreon-exclusive people, and once you're a member, you can get access to the warm-up where you can hear all sorts of different stuff this week that we talked about.
We just talked about everything.
Just so many different things. So many different things that I want to have behind a paywall.
For reasons.
Specifically behind a paywall in Minecraft.
I just got the craziest email.
Okay,
I just got a Google alert on my email. Remember that clip of Kanye?
What the fuck? Hold on.
Hold on.
Everybody grab your butts.
Grab your butts.
Okay.
Remember that clip of Kanye being like, if you can sell something, then anybody can sell it or whatever. And he's like, what's Lady Gaga know about Polaroids? Remember that?
Okay. I know of this clip solely because you reference it maybe 3 times a year. For those of you guys who
what
don't
she
know.
know about cameras?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Kanye in an interview in like a music studio.
Yeah.
And he was talking about like being a spokesman.
Yeah.
How anyone can be a spokesman. It doesn't matter. You just have to know how to sell things.
Yeah.
And they said that Lady Gaga has a sponsorship deal with Polaroid. She still has it to this day.
I think she still does, yeah.
It was Polaroid or Kodak, one of those.
I think it's Polaroid.
And he literally goes, "What's Gaga? I like some of Gaga's music. What's Gaga know about cameras?" And it's such a crazy line. It makes me mad every day that he is a bipolar, psychotic racist.
Yeah.
Because, God damn, every now and then.
he had bars.
He has bars.
He had bars back then.
Azalea Banks, don't go that far. Azalea Banks, you have some that when you hit me sometimes, there's that quote. Azalea Banks is insane until she's on my side. That's how I feel. And the problem is that Kanye has gone too far.
Yeah.
He's dressing up like a Klansman now.
Yeah, I know.
He's in the full regalia. It's too much.
It's always been too much.
It's always
anyway,
been too much.
I got this email.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
And it's, okay, they're going to be mad. They're never going to do a sponsorship now that we let in with this. I got an email
Hold
from
on,
this,
real quick. If they hadn't already tried, if you hadn't already sent us the money, you're never gonna. There's
this company called Fishwife, and they make canned fish. Okay, this is going somewhere, I promise. It's like sardines, like in a sardine can.
Wait, when I did the YouTube video about the holiday gifts, isn't this the company?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Fishwife makes canned fish,
oh my God,
which I got from my dad for Christmas.
Okay.
And I just got an email from them letting me know that Bon Iver, the band,
Bon Iver,
the band,
yeah.
They're doing a collaboration. It says Bon Iver and Fishwife Smoke Salmon, shop the new drop, and it's Bon Iver and canned smoked salmon limited edition, and it comes with what's it called? It comes with an album, so you get a can of smoked salmon and a record from Bon Iver.
Oh, I love that you have not said it right correctly once.
I don't know their music.
At least say Bon Iver.
Bon Iver.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that's even more wrong, but now it's comically wrong.
Okay.
And at least people will know how to Google it.
Yeah.
It's like the French, Iver.
Oh, okay. Bon Iver.
Yeah.
So
no,
yeah.
You're still saying it all hokey mouth. Yeah, it's Bon Iver. Yo, give me some of that Bon Iver.
It says it's a love letter to Bon Iver's Wisconsin. The salmon theme that runs through the album. Though it says there's a salmon theme that runs through the album.
Oh my God.
We're gonna listen to their salmon album?
You're buying this.
I'm not buying this.
No,
okay,
you're
might
getting.
buy this. Let's see.
How's the
Shop
fish?
the drop. Shop $22. That's not that bad.
For the album and the fish?
I think that's just the fish. How do I get the album?
Okay. When we take a break, you can look a little bit deeper into this. We were talking about tariffs and how hard they're going to be on
Well,
people.
I think this
and
salmon
you were
is
like,
American made.
no, hold on. We were talking about tariffs and how hard it's going to be for people. And then in the middle of us talking about that, you go,
got an email.
Hold on, I got to get a Fish album from Bon Iver.
I didn't want it. It's just we were talking about the crazy.
Also, but how dare you compare Bon Iver to a black Nazi?
No, okay, that's not what I was saying.
I know.
It was about the marketing.
No, I know, but there's a different way to do that. Like, that's where your brain immediately went.
Yeah, well, it went to him saying Lady
I know,
Gaga
but you could have left out. You could have left out him completely. You could be like,
but no, okay, I'm sorry. We were talking about the silly updates you get from the bottom left of the screen of your computer.
and then your bottom left of your screen of your computer.
It said Bon Iver and smoked salmon. And I said, that's fucking insane. What is this email?
He did one of my favorite songs from Taylor Swift's Folklore album. It's Taylor Swift and Bon Iver. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was one of my I really love that song.
You know who else likes Taylor Swift songs?
Who?
Dave Portnoy.
Okay, fuck out of here. Don't compare.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I was trying to circle back because you were talking about influencers who lost a lot of money in the stock market, and famously, he just keeps making TikToks crying that he's losing money.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
because he's so delusional.
Yeah,
he keeps being like, "I lost $7 million." No,
then at one point he was like, "I lost $20 million,"
and he doesn't realize that some of us don't have more than like $50 in our checking account.
Yeah,
and he's crying about millions of dollars.
Many of which are his actual listeners. Like that's the one thing that gets me with all of these different guys. It was like with Tim Pool when Tim Pool bought the skate park.
Yeah.
Remember that?
You explained that to me, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the pod, but Tim Pool heard about this skate park in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. It was like a DIY skate park, and Tim Pool like loves skateboarding, and that was like before he left the left was like, I'm super into skateboarding. It's where I wear a beanie. And
I thought he was bald.
That too.
Okay.
But you know, because he's a bald-faced liar. But he bought the land that this DIY skate park was on because it was kind of like that dog park we used to go to when we were in Philly, where it was like somebody just was like, nobody's using this land. Somebody owns it.
Yeah.
But nobody's monitoring it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we can just kind of put a thing together. So Tim Pool, at first, I think he tried to like give a prize. Like he was like, hey, and because this town is like something he's starting to invest in. And because he's like, I'll buy into West Virginia because West Virginia is so Republican and all this stuff. But like, again, he's in a place where people live, and that where people live typically isn't Republican.
Yeah.
And so like wherever he was trying to buy, like, you know, doing this stuff, he like tried to give prize. And all the guys who were actual skaters, who were like actual skaters, anarchists, just people who were living are like, nah, fuck you, dude. We don't want this. Also, like, you're hyper political and like that's going to make this political.
Yeah.
We don't want anything to do with you. And so he was like, oh, you don't want to take my money? Well, I bought the whole skate park. And everyone's like, all right, fine, we'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's such dork behavior.
But it's just such nerd behavior, just like Elon buying Twitter and all these other different type of things. But again, it's these guys, it's like, you have this much money. You weren't like, hey, I'll start a nonprofit that we can start a board for.
I know whose fault this is. Batman. Because when we've watched Batman, every time I've watched Batman from the beginning of the time, I've said, if I had that much money, if I'm Bruce Wayne, and I have all this money, I'm not buying fancy costumes and fancy motorcycles to go help people by beating up poor people. I would donate money to different programs and help build up the infrastructure for schools, for food banks, for all these things to help the community. Just, I want to go out at night and beat up people for street crime is an insane way to use that amount of wealth. And so these guys are like, Batman's the good guy. No. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go help the community by buying things with all of my money and then taking it away from the community and ruining it. Like, if you wanted to help people, but they don't want to help people. They just want to have a big dick measuring contest. But the thing is, they got small dicks.
That's true.
And no hair.
That's true. Which is crazy. Like, at least
you don't even know who I'm talking about because it'd be any of
I
them.
know, it really is. The ones are like, hey, I have hair. It's like, no, you went to Turkey.
Yeah.
But no,
there's anything wrong with that.
Listen, first thing, Mrs. P.
Yeah.
Mrs. Pearlmans.
Yeah, that's me.
Good little rant.
Thank you.
Honestly, you are correct though. Because we've been talking a bunch. It's been a running theme the last year or so about how even my mom brought it up the other day. And by the other day, I mean this morning. She
Yeah.
was just screaming at me on the phone. And she was like, rich people used to build shit.
Yes.
I know. Libraries and fucking, just places, universities, things, hospitals.
Beautiful architecture.
And now all they do is fucking complain they don't have enough. And I was like, okay. I gotta go. And I was
That's
like,
when you drank the Red Bull, I assume.
it is. Because I was like, do I really sound like that?
Yes.
It was like having your own reflection yell back at you. You know what I mean? Just 70 years old and mad. No, it's just been very funny. It's been very funny to me watching these guys because, in general, the same thing happened with Fox during Trump won, and during all these different things. All these guys who literally got out there and they shook their ass to get him elected. They made so many promises. There's so many clips.
They blamed so many other groups of people.
They blamed everyone for all of the problems that actually at the time, looking back, were not problems.
No.
They did so many things on this that now that this psychopath, that this dementia-riddled dictator is out here just flipping switches and just tweeting whatever the fuck, and it's crashing markets and causing chaos and reassessing like international treaties that have been in place for 70 years, just like on a whim.
Yeah.
Just like walking in and be like, huh, what's this do? Just unplug that.
He's a toddler.
Yeah.
It's like, don't stick your finger in the outlet. We have to buy outlet covers for
No,
his presidency.
No. You're just trying to stop me because inside the outlet is where all the delicious jobs are. The great jobs are gonna be there, like making socks and iPhones. Americans want to make socks and iPhones.
Oh my
That's
God.
what they want to do.
I just thought of something else.
Yes.
Okay. So remember how earlier I was saying that like Trump's tariff stuff feels like somebody getting ready to go to the gym and then they are like, oh, I'll go on Monday. I'll start on Monday. It's also like, theoretically, if you wanted to bring manufacturing jobs back to America, you would start by creating a great place for manufacturing jobs to start. So you'd like build out the infrastructure and you'd create those jobs and you would give the tax write-offs or whatever to make companies want to build these warehouses and jobs and all that.
You would have more trains.
You would have
more trains.
Oh, you'd have so
you
many
would just
more
have
trains.
a lot of trains.
There's so many trains.
God damn it, you need more trains.
And so you would do all of this for maybe like a decade.
Yeah.
And then you could then put tariffs on to kind of push it, just edge it a little bit.
But you'd have to actually already have
You would have to do that
the stuff.
first.
Yeah.
And it's like this idea of like when you start going, there's people that like when you start going to the gym, you go and you buy all the workout outfits. You go to Alo and you buy all the fanciest Lululemon.
Yeah.
And then you buy the cool duffel bag.
Don't
and
forget
the
the gloves.
The gloves.
You gotta get the high-end gloves.
The new water bottle. And you buy all the stuff, but then you never go to the gym.
You know what? Keep listing stuff. I'm going to start making a Shopify account, and I'm going to link it all in the description. What do we need here? So first thing, you need yoga pants.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, tariffs are coming. Get it 5% off. No,
But that's what it feels like.
No, it is.
It's like he's...
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
It reminds me very much of when I was 12. I got super into astronomy.
Okay.
Because I had a really great teacher who was teaching us all about astronomy. And I told my parents, I was like, I really want a telescope. And if my dad had been smart, if my dad had been smart and had grown up like with less money, like your family did, would have bought the intro pack.
Yeah.
Right? The little shitty telescope that you can get. It's like $60. You can put there, and then maybe we'll go out and we'll go camping one night.
Yeah.
And you'll look through and we'll maybe see no. My dad didn't do that. He bought me like this really high-end, amazing telescope.
Yeah.
I used it once.
Yeah.
It then sat in my parents' basement for the next 20 years to the point where every time we go over and we go down their basement, because my mom's like, you gotta take a box of stuff.
Yeah. Every time we visit, you gotta take a box of stuff.
Because one day if I die, it's gonna be too much for you to go through. It's every day.
Every time.
Every time I go down to that basement, Mrs. P, she always points and goes, what the fuck is with this telescope? And I'm just like, don't
bring it up.
It's my shame.
Don't bring it up.
It's my shame.
Yeah.
Because if they had just, instead of taking that $500 and putting in that telescope, if we had just taken that telescope money and had just bought Pfizer stock. I wouldn't have to fight with Charlie Kirk for money on TikTok. I wouldn't have to fight with Charlie Kirk on TikTok.
It's not a fight. You're beating him.
I know.
Number one, your gums aren't that of a Disney adult who's married to a military guy.
A dependa?
Yeah, dependa.
He's a dependa wife.
His gums are.
Yeah. It was very difficult making that video because there's a thing with some of them where I just want to make fun of every aspect of him.
Yeah, and it's not.
The gums, the hairline, his little face on his big head.
It is weird that all of his face is right in the middle.
It's just so fucking bizarre. But it's also like one of those things where, again, and then people are
not
like,
supposed to make fun of the way people look.
"Oh, don't make fun of the things that people can't change." I'm like, he could change it. He's made enough money.
That's true.
I actually know for a fact he can change it. Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen these people. I've seen what we can do with modern medicine.
Yeah.
I've seen what people in other countries can do with modern medicine.
Crazy.
Because it's a lot cheaper than here.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's going to get more expensive again because of what? Tariffs.
Oh, full circle. We did it.
Yep. So one of the things we were talking about AI and everything that's been going on.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And it's like one is with obviously the Trump people are coming up with ideas. If you read some of the executive orders that they're writing.
They're writing them on Grammarly.
They're writing.
Make it more interesting.
Fill it out. Make it at least 2 pages.
Yeah.
So that way when he holds up the little binder, it looks
Make
bigger.
it convincing.
Because some of these paragraphs, when you read them, you're like, no human wrote that paragraph. Yeah. It's not possible. And they don't ever go back over. The biggest thing when they use these AI programs is they never proofread and they never go back and make sure, like, when they're making a video, like, do the hands look right?
Yeah.
You can always catch something. But the big one, though, has been China. The Chinese government released an AI video.
They just shared it, or did they
I think they
post
shared it. It doesn't matter.
It's the funniest fucking thing.
It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. It is of Americans.
It's an AI video.
It's an AI video of larger Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Think
stereotypical.
Think WALL-E Americans.
Yes, WALL-E.
From the movie WALL-E.
Mm-hmm.
Working in a sweatshop.
Yeah.
Making shoes.
Yeah.
And
bras.
And bras. And a bunch of other things. It's just a lot of people who do not live in walkable cities.
Yep.
And post-diabetic.
And the song they chose.
What was the song?
I don't know. It's like some type of like.
It's like a Chinese song. It's like a Chinese folk song.
But
yeah.
it's very like thematic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like once I watched it, because I always watch videos silent because I don't have things autoplay. And so I'm like watching. I'm like, I can't believe they shared this. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. But then I clicked it again to hear the sound. And once I heard the music they put on the background, I was like, this is the funniest, meanest thing.
Yeah.
The Chinese government has done.
But they're not only just posting the AI videos, right? Which are just humiliating.
Yeah.
The other thing they're doing is that the Chinese Communist Party is currently sharing on their official Twitter account a video clip of President Ronald Reagan saying that tariffs lead to fierce retaliation and trade wars. The Chinese Communist Party is currently posting videos of Ronald fucking Reagan
May he rot in
defending free trade.
hell. Oh my God.
And being against tariffs.
Yeah.
Like that's when the Chinese Communist Party is like, hey bud, you're doing capitalism wrong. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like that's how
They're
that.
like, isn't this your guy?
Yeah.
This is your guy, right?
This is your guy.
This is who you all look back on.
And at the same exact time, I Show Speed is currently, who is again another streamer. I Show Speed has been in China for days, and he's just been showing off like that it's not this weird cultural backwater full of huts that Donald Trump and some of his advisors seem to still think it is.
No.
Like the rapid changes that have happened in China, number one, in their infrastructure. The infrastructure alone. If you go look, there is a map of Chinese high-speed rail from 2008.
Love a train.
To now. And it's like the investment that they made in that are huge. Mm-hmm. And so, again, the way the cities are built out. Like, people keep thinking back, again, to 2008, they think back to when the Chinese had the Olympics, and it was this issue with smog and these other issues and overcrowding and all these different things that they've had historically in the past.
Yeah.
But they had centralized planning and they had centralized movement that has built out areas. Again, I'm not defending China. I'm just pointing out that a lot of our ideas when we think of China are set from shit that we saw in the 70s and 80s when it was first opened up. And the changes that have happened. So Donald Trump is sitting there with his dementia, sundowning, not knowing what's going on. And he's thinking, what are they going to do? They're going to have a lot of people. They're going to have a lot of people, and they're not going to have access to our Arkansas rice and our North Carolina soy. What are they going to do with that? No one else to trade with. Buddy, they'll just trade more with Kenya.
Yeah.
They'll trade more with South Africa. They'll trade more with Brazil. There are other markets that exist. These fuckheads are working in an idea. The guys who are pushing this the most at the top, who are pushing tariffs, who are pushing these ideas, who are pushing we're going to bring back manufacturing and all these things, are pushing it from the mindset of a world of the 1950s when, number one, there was a Cold War.
Yep.
We had someone that we were really competing hard against that there was a counterbalance to. And number two, a lot of the world was not as developed as us and also didn't also have the same levels of communication. Hollywood was dominant because Brazil and India and China and Africa did not have the film industries.
Yep.
And now Hollywood, look at what's happening to Hollywood. Hollywood is having their entire film industry is being offshored in Vancouver. Half of everything's being shot now in England.
Yep.
Because of taxes. But there's a lot that's also being moved over to Hungary now because, again, of taxes.
Yeah.
And all these different things, to the point where people are wondering whether or not the film industry in LA will even survive.
That and AI.
Yeah. So you have that, but that's the same exact thing. We don't have a tariff. You want to bring back American jobs? Put a tariff on fucking making a film over in Hungary. You won't.
No.
You won't because you love Viktor Orban, don't you, buddy?
What?
They love a Viktor Orban.
They do?
But when it comes to all this stuff, the other thing I've been seeing a lot with the conservative influencers, is they keep pointing to Democrats like Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi and others in the past being pro-tariffs. But again, those were targeted for specific industries that we were trying to keep here, that we already had.
Yeah.
If we had put targeted tariffs on fabrics and the garment industry, because we used to have a massive garment industry here in the 60s and 70s, through the 60s and 70s.
Where did it go?
It went overseas.
Well, who sent it there?
Oh, Republicans.
No. Which one?
That would be Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan.
Yes, that's right. Ronald Reagan. Yeah, okay.
Because they wanted to break the back of the unions. Unions that my great-grandmother actually organized for.
Yes.
She was actually a labor organizer in the garment industry down in the Baltimore, D.C. areas. Like, because we used to have more garments made here. You can still get union American-made garments. They're few and far between.
And they'll be pretty expensive.
And they are going to also get more expensive, even the American-made ones. How is that going to happen? Because, there's no tariff on the stuff that's made here. Well, beyond in the Charlie Kirk video that I made, where I explained to him the supply chain and all the different things in there, a lot of people keep pointing out, and they were mad that I didn't mention it in my video.
Fertilizer.
Beyond fertilizer. But
I saw the comment
I know,
about
fertilizer is a
the
big
whole
one.
time. I was like, that's
we get all of our
fact.
potash from Canada. Yeah, I know, but I was just focusing on a lot of people were forgetting about the supply chain thing. But the other part of it is, if I have two phones, right, 2 items, one is made overseas and has 125% tariff on it, and the other one is made here in America, right? Say we're both charging, I don't know, $100. Well, the item that's made overseas, specifically in China, now will cost $225. So the American item that was $100 will now cost $224.95.
Yeah, because they're going to try to make as much profit as they can.
Yeah, because if they...
Ferengies.
Because it is...
Rule of acquisition number 1.
They can be sued for not doing it.
Yeah.
That is actually part of the laws that Ronald Reagan helped change. The same guy that the Chinese Communist Party is like, Please listen to Ronald Reagan on this one, guys. We set up a lot of stuff based on what you
guys came to us, is what China's saying.
They showed us a map of Ronald Reagan and the whole country was red, and we like that.
Yeah.
You know, Mrs. P, over the weekend, there was, this last weekend, there was a major movement that happened across America.
What was it?
A lot of people thought it was people taking it to the streets. A lot of people thought it was signs being held up and people coming together.
Protest.
To say, keep your hands off our Social Security.
Yeah.
Keep your hands off our Medicare. Get your hands off of our government. But that wasn't the big moment.
What was it?
It was the Minecraft movie.
There's a movie?
Yeah, there's a Minecraft movie. And specifically,
Okay.
Chicken Jockey.
What's Chicken Jockey?
What do you mean, what's Chicken Jockey?
Okay, I barely know what Minecraft is. We just talked about it in the Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
Where you explained to me again that it's building stuff with zombies and green guys.
Yes, and on the warm-up, we talked about how some people say in Minecraft when they're talking about crimes. And then they
Yeah,
think
we
that's
commit
gonna come
crimes in
back.
Minecraft and it's not real.
Yeah.
But so there's a movie about committing crimes that aren't real?
No, there's a movie about the game Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it is just... It doesn't look like a good movie.
Okay.
It looks like fine for
Who's
people
in
who
it?
are fans. Jack Black's in it.
Okay.
Jason Momoa's in it.
All right.
And then everything in Minecraft is in it. There's
Okay.
other actors too. I think there's a lady from Orange is the New Black and then like 2 children. But there is like, it is mostly CG.
Okay.
And then it's just them walking around Minecraft. And then from what I've seen, okay, because I haven't seen the movie, and from the references I've seen to it, it's mostly like Jack Black being like, this is where we mine. And this is where we craft.
Okay.
Like that's almost a direct pull quote. Because we do that here
so there's
in Minecraft.
Limited plot is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean there's like, but it's people seeing the game that they've been playing for almost 20 years now. I think 15, 20 years. The game came out like a long time ago. And so like a lot of the people who are going to see it, who are in their early 20s, were like 7 years old. Like this
so this is like their thing.
Yeah, it's like their thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's their thing. That's cool.
But it's
nostalgia, baby.
There is a lot of videos. There's a meme that's happening.
Okay.
So in the movie, there is a part where Jason Momoa and Jack Black are captured by bad guys. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they are in a wrestling ring. And they're like, Jason Momoa, you have to fight this thing. And this big box comes down.
Sure.
And it opens up and a chicken falls out.
Okay.
And then they're like, it's a chicken. And then a little guy falls onto the chicken. And it's a zombie child. Oh. And they look really cute. And then they go, arr!
Okay.
And right then.
Evil.
Like, oh, and they go attack Jason Momoa.
Okay.
And right as they're attacking Jason Momoa, Jack Black's character, whose name is Steve.
Okay, Steve.
He goes, I am Steve. That's his big thing.
Okay, great.
Jack Black's character yells, Chicken Jockey. And then all of the kids.
Okay.
And I say, by kids, I mean anyone under 30.
Yeah.
Start screams and they throw popcorn in the air. Some of them now have been like pulling like big poppers.
Okay.
And it's been everything short of shooting a gun so far. But I think we're getting close to guns.
It's America. That sounds very Rocky Horror. I love that.
Yeah.
A little niche.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Is like people are getting upset about it.
Why?
Well, in general, it's because there are some groups of people who believe that you should be dead silent in a movie theater and that nothing should happen whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah.
And that they paid, at this point, probably $22.
$47.
For this exact seat.
I'm getting a bucket
and
of
that
soda.
I want total silence.
Get me that Dune bucket of popcorn.
They want total silence.
Uh-huh.
And that they want, nothing to happen.
At a kid's movie. All right.
And then there's another group of people that say, I just paid $29, not counting the popcorn.
Cookie dough candies.
Not counting any of this different stuff, so I should be able to do what I want. And then there's the third group of people, which is the correct one, which is, oh my God, stop throwing popcorn and soda around. People have to actually clean this.
Yeah. There's a middle ground. I will say, okay, I'm all for a silent movie, like sitting there in silence when it's like a quiet movie. I went to go see
a drama.
I went to go see The Witch back in the day. Remember we went to go see separate movies, and there was some teens sitting in front of me who didn't understand the movie that we were watching and were talking and on their phones all the time. And I literally, there was nobody else in the theater except for me and these teen girls. And I was like, hey guys, if you don't like this movie, you can just leave. Go ask for a refund and then go to the mall because we were near the mall.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God. And they did. They were just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But because we were like the only people in the theater, but it was The Witch. It's a very quiet film.
The
it's a lot of
Vitch.
ambience.
The Vitch.
It's
not The Witch. It's The Vitch.
The Vitch.
Because it's a double V.
And so, there's a certain, like, got to be quiet so you can hear what's happening. It's a subtle film.
Yeah.
But if I'm seeing the Lego movie, if I'm seeing Rocky Horror, I'm being loud. But that being said, there is one big comma, and I'm adding this in. If it's a musical, and I don't want to hear you fucking sing, theater kids. I love you guys, theater kids for life. I did theater in high school. If I'm going to see Wicked and I paid $47, I want to hear Ariana. I don't want to hear you.
Yeah.
Okay? The singing along with theater shows, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Because you know what? I don't want to hear. You're right. Because even if it was at a musical on Broadway,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking hear
Shut up.
you.
I paid to hear them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to hear you sing along.
Yeah.
But one thing that's been happening with the throwing the popcorn and screaming and yelling. Some people have been turning on and off lights. It's been kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
Has been shows later in the evening have been getting canceled completely
Yeah.
because people are ruining the theater so badly that they're like, this is going to take us 2 hours to clean. We have a 15-minute turnaround for our schedule.
Can I say something controversial and brave and probably wrong?
Okay.
It's like, I know that the movie theaters are like, they have nobody going. Like, nobody
Yeah.
goes to the movies anymore. So, like, if this is the thing that gets them there, like...
Well, this was my idea, right?
Yeah.
Because again, they have some theaters are calling cops, they're doing it's getting riotous level.
Wow, okay.
It's getting crazy because again, it's a meme, and it's also when I'm looking at these people, I'm like, oh, you haven't done anything with your life. You're in your early 20s, maybe late teens,
Maybe
early 20s.
they went to Zoom school.
Yeah, it's just this is the first thing that they're doing getting out.
Yeah.
And again, also to go this people like this would get crazy at concerts.
Yeah.
But concerts are $300. So it's
Can't even get a Gaga ticket.
what my suggestion would be, again, they won't know what an interactive movie would be. Like no one could predict that the Minecraft movie would have this much.
You could have never told
That would
me
be this
that
memed?
it would be the next thing that people start throwing toilet paper at.
That it caused the fucking riots, that it would become Rocky Horror, or what's the other, Priscilla Queen of the Desert level, or what's the one, The Room?
The Room?
The Room, it's a really bad movie that is not The Room.
The Room is the one where that lady gets kidnapped.
What the one am I thinking?
I don't know.
Mr. Third, what am I thinking? The movie, the really bad movie.
Okay.
I swear it's The Room.
Yeah, it's The Room.
Yeah, it is The Room. You're thinking of a different The Room.
Okay.
You're thinking of the Brie Larson movie.
Yes, I was thinking of the Brie Larson movie.
There's another movie called The Room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, because the
Okay.
Brie Larson movie, you should not be
No.
talking during
Do
that
not
movie.
Rocky Horror the Brie Larson Room.
Oh, Jesus Christ, guys.
That is a terrifying movie about a woman who was being kept by, I think, her own father.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, okay. It's a horrifying movie.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is when you have a big musical, right? Like Wicked,
Yeah.
or you have something like Minecraft where you realize this, they should make, quote, interactive,
Yes.
have an interactive showings.
Yeah.
And I think
lean in.
and the thing is some theaters are starting to do this, but it ends up being more around certain groups and clubs.
Yeah.
So I know out, especially in LA and then in New York, there are people who are like, hey, this organization is putting on a rescreening of RoboCop.
Yeah.
So you're going to be expected that we're doing this thing, and everyone's going to show up as being wearing clothes from the 80s.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I did the rescreening of Labyrinth and
Yes.
showed up dressed up.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, you do a cosplay. You do these different types of things.
Yeah.
It's a specialty event.
Yeah.
Doing it at random times
Wild.
where there is listen, if our kid was older, if our kid was 7, it's I want to go see the Minecraft movie, and we showed up at a 3:00 showing, and then suddenly 220-year-olds came in
And threw popcorn on the kid.
and lit Roman
Fist fights.
candles. Yeah,
Fist
exactly.
fights.
You know what I mean? That's
All right. Okay, I'm on your side now.
That's what I'm saying. Is there
Yeah,
needs to
you're
be
right.
but there needs to be a balance of when it's happening, and I think.
That's why Rocky Horror is at midnight.
But that's also why Rocky Horror has been doing this for 50 years, or however many years. Rocky Horror has a balance to it, and also they have people that run it.
Yeah, live performers and people make it their whole it's like a life's work at a certain point.
It is, but it's that. But also with Priscilla's Queen of the Desert and with The Room, there's people who are almost conducting the audience, so you know what their call and responses are, you know where these things are happening, all these different things. Right now, it is becoming, again because of monetization and again because of the content of it all.
Yeah.
The reactions to the chicken jockey moment and other things that are happening during the movie, it's becoming a who can create the craziest video. And I'm seeing these videos on TikTok. They're getting 1.4 million, 1.5 million likes. And
That's
listen,
gonna be bad. That's not gonna end
to
well.
get a video that big is huge. I mean, like, I have to curse out Charlie Kirk a couple times
Yeah.
to get to 1.4 million likes on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I didn't even curse in that video.
That's right.
I know. Real proud
That's
of
right.
it.
Friendly.
People were showing it in high school classes. That made me feel uncomfortable. So with that.
I love that the professors were pulling that up.
I know. And somebody sent me a clip. It was like, there's like through a window. And they're like, here's you being shown to a college. And I was like, ugh, ask for a refund right now, kid. It's not going to end well for you. But with that.
Wait, no, I have something to tell you.
Okay.
So I Googled Minecraft movie while you were talking because I wanted to like get my bearings. I want to have my information. You should always do your research because research is important.
Always do your research.
And you know who's in this movie? You name some people, but I think when I tell you that this person is in this movie or their voice is in this movie in some way, you're going to change your whole tune and you're going to want to go see it.
Okay.
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry's in the movie?
Yeah. He plays a character named Nitwit.
All right.
We're going to go see this movie.
All right. Father!
Too many frauds and too many scammers that we wish weren't real. Too many cons and too many spammers, and we're starting to feel like we've got too many tabs open. It's too many tabs. Remember to smile.